Hey, I think we're live. Are we live? Check, check, check. Audio check. I think we're good. We're live. Hey guys, my name is David. This is Jeremy. This is You Tech Media channel, but today we're hosting Pixel Stabbers. Jeremy is from Pixel Stabbers, and today we're talking about Luminar 4, which if you've been following our channel, we talk about it a lot because we think it's a great piece of software. We both think, we both love it, and we're both professional photographer. I've been shooting weddings for over 10 years. He's been shooting weddings for over 15 years now. He also has a graphics design background, so he does not only shoots beautiful pictures, but he also uses Photoshop and Lightroom and Luminar 4 to really bring out the images and make it a piece of art. So that's what Jeremy does. He's got a lot of experience in it. But what we have in common is we use Luminar 4 for professional and for casual use because it's such an amazing software. It's a very affordable software, right, Jeremy?
It's very fun to use. It makes work become fun.
Yeah. It's a very inexpensive, it's very fun, it's easy to use. You don't even need to have other software. It can be used as a standalone, meaning you just download the software, you run it, and you can do everything you need. It's basically your photo editor. But if you want, you can use it within your normal workflow. For example, if you're using Lightroom already, then you can use it as a plugin to Lightroom, or if you're using Photoshop, you can use it as a plugin for Photoshop. Today's demonstration...
It's pretty versatile.
Yes, very versatile. Jeremy's presentation today, he's going to actually use Luminar 4 for you. And how are you going to use it? As a standalone or as a plugin today?
I'm going to use it as a plugin.
Plugin to Photoshop?
From Photoshop, yes. Because personally, I've been using Photoshop for the past 50 years. 15 years. 15,
wow.
Not 50, 15, sorry.
Yes.
And I never thought that I need another software, to be honest. I never purchased any third-party software for Photoshop until now, because I usually can do everything in Photoshop, but with Luminar's AI abilities and its AI replacement for the skies and everything, it just makes life much, much easier.
Yeah, for sure. And because it's a plugin, it just works with your normal workflow, right? Because you're using Photoshop. So everything that you're familiar with, you just use Photoshop for. And when you need the Luminar effect, you pull in Luminar as a plugin, do whatever you need, and then you close Luminar, goes back to Photoshop as a layer, right?
Exactly.
And Luminar is so great because it's under $100, guys. The link is right below. Use the coupon code PixelStabbers. If that coupon code for some reason doesn't work, go ahead and send us an email at savemoney@pixelstabbers.com and we'll help you out. Anyway, if you don't know what Luminar 4 is, let me actually show you a quick demo of what Luminar 4 looks like. So if you go to Luminar's website, or Skylim's website is skylim.com. You go up here to Luminar and you click on the product page and you come to this page right here. So I'll just play the video so you can see the video real quick. So give it a moment to load. And Jeremy, I'm sorry, you won't be able to see the video, but you've seen this video a ton of times already, right?
Oh, I see it.
Oh, you can see it too. Cool. So let me pull it up. Yeah, I forgot. You can see it. So there it is. So basically, this is the software, and you can embed objects into it. The cool thing is the AI that we're talking about masks things for you. See right here, you can change the sky, different dynamic sky, sunset sky, night sky, and you can do like a lot of portrait effect. You see how you're just moving sliders to change things? The cool thing is AI masks things for you. Like you can have a lighting effect, and again, AI controls all the masking for you. And you have all these looks and all these different looks that you can apply. It's very powerful. It knows what part is structure and what part is sky, and it adjusts accordingly. And it's very smart. You can even just use like an AI enhancement, and it does everything for you. So it's so much that you can do in just one small piece of software. And it's called Luminar 4. Let me show you one more video to just highlight that. So today, Jeremy, are you gonna do a demo with portraits, or are you gonna do a demo with like skies and structure more?
I have different kind of pictures. Let me see how I feel like.
Okay, well then let me just show a couple of demos. So as we scroll down the website here, as you mentioned, it can be used as a standalone or a plugin. As a standalone, it's basically a photo editor and a browser. It supports full RAW, so whether you shoot in JPEG or you shoot in RAW, and RAW has different versions, whether you're a Nikon, a Canon, or a FujiFilm, you have different RAW format, but don't worry, this supports pretty much all the RAW formats there are. So again, as a standalone, it's a photo editor and browser, or you can use it as a plugin to Adobe Photoshop and Apple products such as Apple's Aperture, Photoshop, Lightroom, etc. So again, you can embed new objects. You can embed objects within a click. So that's pretty cool here. Actually, let's watch a real quick trailer how that works here.
It's actually a pretty fun trailer they did
Yeah,
here.
it is. You gotta create a whole new world in one click. I mean, you just watch this.
Wait. Ooh.
The sky, the moon, you put an elephant in there, and here's how AI works. Basically, you see it's content aware. It detects the sky part, and it detects everything in their frame, and it knows how to manipulate that. And then it lets you put all this shape into your masked area. It's really powerful. I mean, look at that. It just looks so cool. Stuff like this will take you hours, and you can be as creative as you want because now you don't have to spend all the grunt time masking things. It masks everything for you. You can make these breathtaking images in very short amount of time. You got all these sliders to work with. And Jeremy has told me in other videos too, and I love the way he summarizes it. Basically, it takes the functionality of Lightroom, which is like a streamlined way of a workflow, like a browser, and it takes what makes Lightroom so good is that it's easy and simple to use with sliders, but it has all the power and features of something more advanced like Photoshop. So you have mask and you have control over pixel level optimization, and so it falls right into the middle, right? So you get the power of Photoshop, but user friendliness of Lightroom. So it's really a great tool.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I've actually seen a lot of people, especially professionals, they wonder, oh, is it good enough to use? Is it like a Lightroom replacement, or as a pro, is it even worth it? And what's your answer to that, Jeremy?
Well, it depends on the terminology on that. It's like, bro, what are you using for? There's two ways of you using it. Are you using for photo editing, or are you using it for photo organizing?
Ah, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's in Luminar 4, it has both. It has its own library, it has its own catalogs and folders, so you could do your own, basically whatever Lightroom can do in there for organizing photo, Luminar 4 can do.
Yes.
And as for editing, it has so much more to offer than Lightroom.
Yes.
Lightroom can only fuss around with your exposures, white balance, shadow highlight, maybe saturation, a little bit here and there. That is pretty much it. This is all on the surface of edit. Luminar 4 actually can do pixel level edit, which is like even more in depth, like adding stuff, minusing stuff, replacing skies, adding new objects into pictures.
Yes.
You could do all that in Luminar.
Yes. And it's very easy too. So I would say definitely if you're a professional, it's great to have both so you can have a variety. Especially if you're already using Lightroom as your normal workflow, don't change your workflow because it's kind of hard to change workflow. You can still use Lightroom the way you want. And when you're ready to use some of the Luminar 4 features, you can actually pull it up as a plugin and start using it. And if you if you like Luminar's browsing ability, then you don't need Lightroom at all. So there's lots to do, and like once you feel more comfortable, I think Luminar can actually replace Lightroom for me as a wedding photographer. But I can't speak for everybody because people use Lightroom for subtle different things. So, but nonetheless, Luminar 4 is so cheap that it's worth it just to try it and see how you will adapt it to your workflow. So here's the sky replacement demo, and this is probably one of the most popular features of Luminar 4, and we can just watch the demo here because essentially it's one thing that just people really like, and it just really dramatically changes the way your photo looks. It replaces the sky very quickly because it uses AI and selects everything for you. Like you don't have to mask out all the little areas behind the branches and whatnot. But the cool thing is it has the relight feature. So what that means is like when you replace the sky, not only does it just replace the sky, but it also relights the rest of your scene so it's more believable. In other words, it blends in with the sky a lot more. And later on, Jeremy will demonstrate that, right?
Here's a hidden secret why Luminar 4's replacing sky is so good. In the beginning, Luminar works with a lot of landscape photographers. Now, when you if you go back to the New York's pictures, right?
Yeah.
To be honest, all this landscape, all this building, they don't move. only the skies will change if you put a camera there, right?
Yes.
So basically, by just changing the sky and also with the relight feature that we light whatever sky is lighted onto the buildings, you change the scene. And that's why you can make any picture from normal to dramatic to any picture from, just by replacing the sky. Because you don't have to replace anything else. Once you replace the sky, if you look at any picture out there that looks dramatic and epic, it's always the sky was epic and dramatic.
That's
it's
true.
Never the building. The building never change. The trees never change. The mountains never change. It's always the sky. And the sky brings the lightings.
Yes.
So what Luminar 4 is, it allow you to change the sky and allow you to bring in the lighting from the sky onto the building and the foreground. That's the magic behind it.
Exactly. I've never actually heard it sum up that well, but you're right. It is the sky. And you can see in this picture right here, we're just changing the sky and it makes the whole feel and look of the picture. It tells a story. It really does. And again, you can see the building colors reflect the sky to make it more believable. And that's all automatic when you replace the sky in Luminar 4. And it's automatic because it does the initial decision for you. But if you want to change it, there's these sliders that you can fine tune it. It's really flexible at the same time. So that's what I love about it. Like you can just open a picture and click change sky and boom, you're done. But if you want to fine tune it, there's these bars and even advanced options that you can slide these little bars and it does everything. As you'll see in the demo that Jeremy is going to do later. And I guess one other thing that people don't realize how great this software is this ability to work with portraits. And it's actually a really powerful feature. We'll watch this real quick trailer. And people don't realize it, but look how amazing its functionality is with portrait. You can basically, with a slider, change the way the skin looks, remove deflects, all at the same time without masking. You can enhance the ways the eyes look, the color of the teeth, and then change the profiles of the eyes, whiten the teeth, slim the face, enlarge the eyes, improve the eyebrows, remove dark circles, add lip redness, all this stuff. And again, you're just sliding bars around. You don't need to mask anything. AI takes care of everything for you. It's so amazing. It's like things like this, I always dread and have nightmares about when clients ask me to do these little changes because I can take a picture with great lighting and everything, but then now I have to sit at my computer and manipulate all this and mask out things and change it. It just takes so much time. So that's actually one of the reasons why I love this software so much, because all the AI is done for me. So I just move sliders and I have all this power at the tip of my fingertip, literally.
Well, to be honest, for this newest version of Luminar 4.2, what they bring on the table is the main feature that everybody talks about, even we talks about, is the sky replacement, obviously, and then is the portraiture retouch AI. The reason of that is there are so many different genres of photography, right? There's wedding photography, there's street photography, landscape, headshots, model shoots, right? But ultimately, we break it down. Most of them only require simple maybe adjustment on the exposure and color grading. It is landscape photography who require a lot of, well, either they spend a lot of time staying there doing long exposure to create a dramatic look, or they come back, they still have to trick the image become epic. And that's why this AI sky replacement helped the landscape photographer to create epic images. And then when it comes to portraiture, mostly headshot, because they need that picture for, I don't know, like whole file pictures or business card or, even more big. They need to retouch skin. And to be honest, if you have ever done it, retouching skin, tones, and defect, it actually takes a lot of time. So Luminar 4 actually focus on those two, make sure that those type of photographer spend less time doing it so they can spend the time back to in their own life. Creativity.
Have more time for your own life, or use that time to make your pictures even better, right? Be more creative with the flexibility instead of spending time masking and spending time doing the grunt work. And since you brought up the portraiture, like let me just show one more example of how great the portrait enhancement is. Like this, I love this demo because you can see like real life, like the stuff you would need to do to fix a portrait. Right, so here's an example of a portrait. Right, she might have like having a bad day, but you can change this with just a simple AI slider. Just click on remove skin defect.
It finds those pimples.
I didn't want to say that word and point it out, but yeah, it found them like that. And it changes them. And here you're enhancing the eyes, removing dark circles. You can whiten the eyes. You can improve the eyebrows, enlarge the eyes even. And again, everything is automatically done. You don't need to spend time masking. The AI knows what's the eyes, what's the eyebrow, what are the dark circles underneath the eyes, the lips, the pimples, the imperfection. It knows all this, and it just makes the adjustments for you. So it just really elevates your photography. So these demos are great, but I'm sure you're waiting for us to show you a start to finish demo, right? Am I right? Am I right?
I think most people want to see how it actually works.
Well, we got a visitor here, and he just wanted to come by and say hello. So, hi, Ji Zhang Yu. Welcome to our live stream. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We're going to do a demonstration of how Luminar 4 works. And Jeremy, let me know when you're ready to share your screen so I can pop it up here.
I am ready.
Okay, great. So let me move this up just so that we are ready to share next time. And let me show you Jeremy's screen. There we go. So now we're looking at Jeremy's screen. And
okay, let me close that little window so I can see my full screen. Okay,
okay,
here we go. Okay, it's got a picture here.
So we're in Photoshop, right? This is Photoshop.
Yep, so this is how my workflow is like Photoshop. So mainly I do like a Command J, so that I have a duplicate layer of that.
Yep.
So I don't touch the background. So you know, non-destructive. I can always go back. Not Lightroom only can never do that. They just kind of playing with the word non-destructive because there's a lot of different method of non-destructive. This is non-destructive.
Of course, if you have another layer, you can always delete the layer and go back to the layer before, right? It's just that it didn't,
So once you install Luminar 4, if you open either Lightroom, Lightroom basically you right-click on the picture and you can set open or edit in. You know, before if you have Photoshop, it will say edit in Photoshop. But now once you install that, it will say edit in Photoshop or edit in Luminar 4. Yep. So for Photoshop, Luminar 4 is actually lie under filters. So it will under Scam software and then Luminar 4. So just click that, it open as a third-party plugin, just like that.
Ooh,
so there's Luminar 4. This is the version 4.2557.
And speaking of version, Luminar is great with updates too, because the price you pay down below is a one-time purchase. You own the software, and as time goes by, Luminar is going to update their software. We're at 4.2 now. I'm sure when you go to 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, whatever it is, as long as you're in the major release of Luminar 4, all the upgrades are included as part of that one-time purchase, and you can keep the software and use it for as long as you need. So just a plug there for why it's so great that Luminar doesn't do the subscription model like a lot of software companies do, like Photoshop, for example. But you buy it one time, Luminar 4, it's yours to keep forever.
So let's go through the interface a little bit. Okay. So since I opened Luminar 4 through Photoshop, so it's a bit different, just slightly. The big difference is you can't open the library. But if you open in a standalone, it has the library module that you could go, it will kind of look through your whole hard drive and see where your picture is, where photo is. So it's kind of just like, just like Porter and all that. And then the main feature here you can see is edit, and then there's info. Info shows the histogram of the pictures. I mean, if you like I don't know, it's not good term, the Instagram freak that people like look at it, like see, oh, look at the black is not enough. Oh, look at the red's right here. So, you want to study that, you can totally do that here, okay? Yeah. So it's the red, green,
ooh.
Click on it, right? So you know where all the red, green, blue is. You can do that. And so personally, this is like a finished picture. If it be a raw picture here, it shows all the information here. But this is not raw. So we go back to edit, and right here, basically they make it so simple. You just have to know where everything is. So here's the graph still here, right? Still here. Yep. Here's the black point. Here's the white point. All the stuff. You see how the picture changes? Yep. So when I click that shows that wet spot right here. It shows that it's overexposed. There has no information in it, just pure white.
Just a tad piece, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, but for a small piece like that, I don't care. That's within the cloud, right?
And if you're going to replace the sky in this one anyway, it's all going to be replaced as well. So it doesn't really matter.
No. So if you click on this little triangle on the left, it showcases the black point. It will show me whatever information in the picture, which is losing information, it's pure black. In this case, it doesn't have it, so it's fine. So this is, if you want to be technical about retouching, this is something you want to know. Like, where's the black point, white point is all the information, balance series spread out, stuff like that.
Yep.
So it does all that. And then it has layers, which is something that Lightroom do not have.
Yes. Yes, that's one of the biggest disappointment when I'm working with Lightroom is that it doesn't have layers. So when you want to do some effect, it affects the whole picture. Or you can have these kind of batches of brushes, but then you have to manage all these little brushes. It's just crazy. Layers is such a simple concept that it doesn't make sense why Lightroom doesn't have it. I guess it does make sense because they want to make it simple.
The funny thing in here is that I've actually this is a layer inside my Photoshop.
Yes.
And I in that layer, I open it into Luminar 4, and then in here, you could also do your layers. For example, this is the layer, right? You could duplicate it if you want,
Yes.
But I don't really see the point. Why? Because it's the same thing.
Yes.
So we could just delete the layer. We don't need that. But if you go to this plus side, here's something different. You can add new adjustment layers. You can add new image layers and create stem layers. Now, let me explain this. The new adjustment layer, meaning that all that layer does is applying adjustment onto the bottom layer, which is this is the bottom layers. Okay? Only apply adjustment including exposures, colors, white balance, color grading and such. Those are those are adjustment only.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you want to, let's say, do a double exposure, right? You could or apply texture on it. You can always add a new image layer. This layer allow you to put an image in it.
Right.
So it's not just an adjustment. You actually put new image, new pixel onto the current background.
Right, and you could probably adjust the opacity to blend it in to your other layer. Yep.
So, and then create stamped layer. Can you get what stamp layer is?
A stamp layer? No, actually I don't. I don't know what a stamp layer is.
Remember I showed you at one point in Photoshop that if I push Ctrl Shift Alt E, I was able to create a layer that
merges it.
Everything.
Yes.
Yep. So what it does is also create a stamp layer that what other adjustments you've done and create a whole new layer on top of it. And so I could do even more. I
love that feature. Yeah.
So like I said, it actually has everything Photoshop has. And Lightroom can't do a jack of this. So
and I love how you said it can pretty much do everything Photoshop can do. But I'm looking at this interface. It's like, wow, it's so nice and simple.
It's so simple.
Yeah, because it's tailored towards photographers, right? It has all the tools.
If I tell you about in Photoshop about the Ctrl Shift FE, you would never know. But
that's such a cool feature, but like I never knew that exists. But right here, it's like one of the most important features. And now that I know, I use it all the time. But here, you can see that it brings it out because there's only 3 features, and that's one of the features. It's, like you said before, Photoshop is designed for so much more.
As I go, I'll show you why this create standard layer is important in Luminar 4.
Yeah.
So the next thing here is basic canvas. The canvas is pretty straightforward. It's only got 2 tools: erase and comment stamp. And and then you can always play around with this.
So
let's see if something is out. You can always fix it. But not this picture. No. Don't want that. 0. Okay, there you go. Oh well, if let's say if anything goes wrong, you don't like it, blah blah blah, you can always hit the return button and go back to it. Just on that tools.
To me, that's non-destructive enough because I can play around with it and I don't feel like I have to commit to anything. I can see the results without committing.
Exactly. So that's that. Okay. I don't do that much because since most of the time I basically open an image in Photoshop, and this is in Luminar, I basically go back to do all that stuff editing in Photoshop. So I really touch it. But unless I have to, then if sometimes I will edit on the roll and on my Surface Book too. I was too lazy to open Photoshop or Bridge and just open Luminar for standalone, and then just there's something simple. I just go and erase it and all that. So it's always handy to have the tools, even though you don't use it.
You have the choice. You can run it as a standalone or as a plugin.
So basically, we go down a little bit lower. So if you mouse over, you see this is an essential. They basically categorize all the tools, essentials, and creative, portrait, and professionals.
Yes.
We'll go into those, but then if you go look down here, here's a history, meaning that you can always go back. You can go back,
nice.
Go back steps.
Yes, non-destructive. Right. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. So you pay along, and if you look at this, you could basically just reset adjustment right here too. So, but it's pretty awesome.
Yep.
So disruptive. So let's go into essential. I'm just using this photo as a sample image to show you what all this feature does. Okay.
So this photo, just so we're on the same page, this one came straight out of camera looking like this, right?
No, I basically did a little exposure adjustment on it. That's pretty much it.
So just exposure, and you can do that in Luminar 4 or any other software, but you just happen to have done it in some other software, and you brought it in Luminar as a JPEG image, just like this. So this is your starting point.
Well, let's just put it this way. You asked me to look for pictures, and I got lazy. I just picked this one.
That's fine. Yes, and I should also...
Professional, am I, right?
It's fine. And then this is an example of any photographer's need anyway. You have a picture and you want to use Luminar to enhance it. It's actually a good one because, a lot of people like to show off the power of the software by picking a picture that starts with... that doesn't look good to start with, right?
No.
And make it look great.
I can give you after this. I mean,
sure.
I show you another one which is raw if you wanted to.
But see, this is why I like this photo though, because this one already looks good. In my opinion, this looks great. But now
the reason I put this is because they have a person in it, it has sky in it, it has structure in it, it really showcases a lot of features. That's why. Okay,
let's do it. And so I guess you're going to use this to really showcase the ability of the AI to detect people, to detect skin, to detect objects, and detect sky, right?
So if we go into the terminology they use here is slightly different. For example, light. What is in light? So they included the white balance, the exposure, smart contrast, highlight shadow as light. Well, the cool thing is they're not done yet because if you click on advanced setting,
I keep forgetting about that. There's more to it.
There's more to it. So you can control the white point, back point, and also they give you a curve to play with if you really want to play with. Right?
Yeah, this is a lot of functionality, but they lay it out in a way that's so easy. And if you don't even click on advanced, it's even easier because you don't get cluttered and you don't get overwhelmed with too many controls. But once you get used to the controls, it's nice to open the advanced. Look at that. That's
right.
Yes.
I actually really like their smart contrast.
Oh yes, that's
look at it. If I minus it, look at it.
Yep.
Look, keep minusing. It doesn't really break the picture that much.
No.
Also, if I increase it, it still doesn't break the picture that much. Try using contrast in either
any
Adobe
software.
Camera Raw or any other software.
Yeah.
It will freaking break your
Yeah, because what it does a global contrast change. Right? So what this contrast is, it's a smart one.
I want a smart one. So I'm pretty sure they apply a little bit of AI into there to calculate.
Have to. Yeah.
Right? So it's pretty awesome. And then the highlight, same shadow, that's control, that's pretty obvious. White point, basically, people think it's similar to highlight. It's not. the algorithm is different. Personally, I don't play with this much unless I exactly know why I need it.
But that's cool because you don't even need to know what each slider does. I see what you're doing. You're just moving it back and forth, and that gives you an idea right away. This is what the slider does, right?
Yeah, try that in Photoshop and see you find do all those tools and try to learn to use it and when to use it and how to use it. That's a whole different ballgame.
It's overwhelming. Like sometimes those tools at Photoshop don't even work unless you select something. Here, you don't need to worry about selecting anything. You just slide it and you know exactly what the slider does.
So this is basically the curve. It gives you, fix that. Here's a
undoing.
And then they give you the wet channels, green channel, blue channel, just like in Lightroom and Photoshop. Does Lightroom have curve?
Yes.
Yeah, it does. It does. Okay, so this is the light tool, right? Okay, let's get that. Let's assume that, okay, you know what? There's too much here. I don't want to deal with it. We go to AI Enhance and try with the AI Accents.
Yes.
Basically, it does everything.
Whoa!
It calculated for you what the picture needs, like the contrast, the brightness, the color. You see, even the colors.
Yes.
A little bit.
And that's so easy. It's easy to understate how powerful this one slider does. Like how powerful this one slider is.
Unfortunately, that I fixed the exposure on this picture already. Otherwise, every
Sure.
single time I have a picture that is undone,
Right.
I always ask AI. So how much do I need? So I just kind of crank up to 100 and see what do they think. Say, oh, that looks pretty good, or just drop down a little bit.
Right. And again, this AI enhance does a lot, right? Because you think it's just one slider, but it's actually doing masking. It'll mask out the sky, it'll mask out the structure, and it'll mask out the person, and it gives different effect to each to optimize it.
This is the funny thing about retouching that. In a sense, I thought this picture is done. Okay, I thought it was done. But if I push AI to, I'm gonna go like that.
Damn, okay. Better. I love
better.
that. It's punchier.
Right?
Yeah, it's punchy.
Right?
Yes.
So, and then also I love the way that how Luminar give you two type of preview. One is just like preview before and after.
Yeah.
One is just a slider.
I love the slider because you can really see the difference. Yeah.
Like if you want to zoom in, you could actually go and see the differences. What they
wow.
did. Oh, so this is kind of pale. Now that looks awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and this is all rendering in real time too. And we should also emphasize that your computer is not the most recent piece of technology.
Are we going there again? We
always go there. Jeremy's computer is like 6-7 years old now, and it still handles Luminar 4 like a champ. I love it. I mean, sometimes you might see a little lag, but for the majority of it, it works great. And that's a 7-year-old computer. If you have anything more modern, like a couple of years old, you should have no problem with Luminar, either as a standalone or as a plugin.
You know why my computer is 6 years old? Because I learned my lessons. I was a starving photographer. I have no money.
we all are.
Okay, so at some point, when I don't know if you ever tried in Photoshop that you try to throw some filters onto the photo, but it takes a lot of processing time.
Oh yes.
Yes, and I learned all the Photoshop trick because I don't need to use the filters. I could do all that manually with level, curve, whatnot, which is to save me a lot of resources in my computer to basically retouch a photo.
Absolutely.
That's why I get able to run a 60 years old computer with Photoshop and still able to bust all that out. And surprisingly, I don't know how. I never thought that my computer able to run software plugin like that because I installed plugins before, different plugins. Most of the plugin drags a lot of resources from computers.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Because they're not well programmed. They're not optimized.
Yeah, this one is well optimized. Like, look at this. Like, we're talking about preview, tracking back and forth. There's no lag whatsoever. Man, what the heck? Man, right?
It's pretty good. It is definitely good.
So, okay, continue. So there's also AI sky enhancement. So you see how, look at that. Basically, it just stopped the sky for me even more.
Right, because it only enhances the sky, whereas the AI enhance on top, it just enhances everything. And the bottom one,
look at those. Look at those cloud formation before and after. It's even more definition now.
Yeah, and again, what you said before makes sense. The sky is like one of the things that make your picture really stand out. So yeah, I can see right here, like when you make this more contrast on the sky, the picture pops even more.
So I'm going to remove that because that way I could have a flat picture to show different functions.
Sure.
So, okay, so when it comes to building, AI structure, let's see what it does, shall we?
Yes.
I don't know, to me, when it says structure, it's always about structure, which is buildings.
Yeah.
So look at that.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Right? Look at all those rock formations and the building. The contrast just pop. But now, here is an interesting thing. Look at her skins.
Yes, it's natural.
Doesn't change a thing. It doesn't change a thing.
Yes, because it's not a structure.
The AIs know where the structure is, where the person is. They would not touch the person.
Yes.
Now, I don't know why they put these features in there because, for example, it's 100% already, but if it's not enough, you can always boost it.
It's just so people realize, okay, if I'm messing with the boost slider, I'm going quite a bit extreme. So
So I wasn't understanding until I played with it. Now, check this out. This is 100% amount on AI structure,
Yeah.
right? Because normally, if you play around with this kind of structures level, whatever, like just like the smart contract, it will break the pictures.
Yeah.
But because it's AI, it understands when to stop. So if I put 100%, look at it. It's very good.
Yeah.
It's decent.
It looks
Now,
great.
if I push this to 100% boost,
It doesn't go that much more because it knows it's already at the limit.
yeah. But if you look at the before and after,
Oh,
okay,
that's pretty dramatic.
it become HDR.
Yeah, it's really a wow picture.
So this is basically just pushing it
Yes.
to make a little bit more contrasty. This here boost
Yes.
make it look HDR.
That
So
looks
that's
so
I understand it.
amazing. Oh,
Look at
wow.
every single little glass, rock, the brick, it all stand out.
See, so
But yeah, still, if you ever see other software that deals with HDR,
Yeah.
right? If you put a picture of a portrait in there, the
Yes.
person's skin will look hideous.
yeah, you would have like halos around it or some blue outlines in skin. It doesn't do well because when you change HDR to structure, any kind of changes looks fine because structure can look different. But skin, your eyes and your brain knows how skin should look like. So when you
Let's look
apply
at let's look
HDR,
at skin tone.
yeah, yes,
Okay, building
yeah,
HDR look. Skin
Yes.
change nothing.
exactly. Yeah,
Right?
I mean, I see a little relighting because it kind of relights the skin.
Well,
to-
it kind of had to do with the relighting to
Yes.
match the background that it was
Right.
changing. Imagine it adds a little bit, just a little bit, but it would not go over. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like overboard. Sorry, did I say overhead? That's not even a word, is it? Overhead? No. I don't know. I just made up words as I go.
It's all good. It's all good. And we just passed Easter, so we're okay. As long as we're not in Easter weekend, we're good. We're good.
Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
So okay, that's that structure. I'm going to put that. Let's go check out colors. So color, just like any, it has saturations. It's still bright. Saturation is the same old tools.
Yeah.
Vibrant, which does that. I always use. I never really use saturation. You see how if I go 100% on this,
Yeah.
look at the sky, right?
Yeah.
Now this is manual,
Yes.
but if I go to AI enhance and do that, that's much better, isn't it?
Yeah, because
Let it
you're not
handle it.
messing with the vibrance of everything else. You're just fixing the sky. Or
No, we are, but the AI is actually leading us when to stop, even though it's 100%.
yes, yes,
This is how
see
much
your
this
point.
picture needs.
yes. So in
Here,
other words, it's dummy proof.
When we do our human adjustment, oh, okay. Okay, well, you have to fuck around.
Right. Sometimes we see a lot of these HDR photos and you lose perspective of what looks good and what looks overly done. So I think AI put things back into perspective. It's like, okay, this looks good. It's enhanced to a tasteful limit.
Yes. And then if there's a color cast, it will help. It kind of did a little bit. I mean, if you look at her skin, it has a color cast of yellow because I think it's reflecting from the building or whatnot, so yellow. So if I bring this up, you see how her skin looks a bit more clear now?
Barely. I can't see because I'm looking at a pretty small screen. There you go. Yeah, that helps. Ooh, yeah, it looks sharper now.
Not just sharper, but look at her color of the skins.
Oh.
See, the yellow cast is gone.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
It looks
Look at that.
nicer. Yes.
It's gone. So that's something that a lot of people don't know about, or it require other software to do a lot to able to get this clear, no color cast. So right here, you can remove it just like that. One slider.
What is that slider called again?
Remove color cast.
Remove color cast. Yeah, the font is a little bit small, so sometimes I'll ask you to read it because I can't see too well. Remove color cast. That's a pretty cool slider. I didn't realize that was there. I've been using Luminar for quite a few months now, and I love it. And I don't even go through all these filters. I just pick on the two ones that he did earlier, the AI Enhance and AI Sky. That's it. That's all I need.
Well, That's all they need, to be honest.
Really.
But then if you're going to go color this off is advanced, if you want to go deeper.
Right. Well, that's
I love this. This is what I love.
So that's why it's good for amateur and professional. You see, Jeremy knows all this stuff, so he likes to dig deep into it. Yet it still satisfies all his needs because it does everything he needs in the advanced realm.
I'm just okay using. If you actually sit behind me, look at my workflow, I probably just go for the AI too.
So we're just demonstrating what you can do, but technically the AI does everything you really need.
But ultimately is this: you can do AI and do fast retouching, but at some point you probably want to technique as a human being. Don't let the computer tell you exactly what to do, and you might want to learn the program yourself and do more creative thing that the AI can do. The AI will help you get a perfectly aligned, well-balanced and well-exposed image.
Yeah.
But if you want something out there, it requires your own creativity, which is why Luminar also had that. It's just not like limited you to just, trust my AI. Yes, AI is fine and good, but it also allows us to create.
Yes.
That's why it's wonderful.
Yes.
So one thing I really like this is that it has, in this color, advanced color setting, it has oranges.
Yes, yeah. A lot of software doesn't have orange, and orange is such a key color because the color of skin is orange, right? Like the color of my actually. But yeah, orange is a great slider because it isolates the skin, and you can really make changes to just the skin. I like that.
So if you want to play around with it, you could at some point, like, this is the best situation because there's a lot of orange.
Yes,
I mean,
typically there's not that much orange elsewhere. But in this structure,
see how it actually affects?
Yeah.
Right. So, but if you do in these cases you want, and then the AI is not giving you that skin tone you want, you can adjust it here.
Yes.
And then almost if you go on, there's like, no, well, not light don't have it. If you go here as well, AI, you see how all that?
Yep.
It has a mask.
Yes.
So you could go in, edit mask. You could go in there and just tell, you know what, I just want this to be affected.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yes.
Done.
Yes, exactly. And I love how you use the brush too. You just kind of brush a little bit over it. You don't really need to really brush in the detail.
Because there's no orange out there. Even though I went out, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect. When you have the mask on top of this, it changes. It showed me that what kind of tools I am a brush. Okay, what kind of mask? What kind of you could fill the mask, fill all the mask, inverse it, clear it, copy it, show mask. How much more feathering do you want at it? Ooh. So, and then they got a quick AI button here, so you can see where your mask is.
That. Yeah.
So you can change your brush size here, the radius, opacity, 50, 100. You can do all that. Basically, just like in Photoshop.
Yeah.
This is, Lightroom has mask too.
I would say mask with quotes. It kind of does. Like you have a brush tool. When you click on it, it creates a virtual layer. But then you can't really edit that layer if you have another brush tool, because then that's another layer, right? You're very limited in the layers that you have in Lightroom.
This is different. This is exactly mimicking Photoshop because each adjustment tool had its own mask. It's just a layer. So that's what it does. But anyway.
Okay. Again, all this is advanced feature because all I use it for, and I can create amazing pictures with just the AI enhanced and the AI skin. Or AI sky and AI enhanced. That's all I need. But again, you have all these flexibility so that when you want to dig deeper, you want to release your creative juices and let it all flow, then you can play around with all these sliders and really go to town with your pictures.
So this is a very interesting black and white conversion. It's actually very fun to play with. Now, you could just go ahead and click convert to W. Yeah, like, if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It looks amazing, to be honest. Right? Or, I don't know why they add all this, but you could also tune the luminosity off. Okay. Now, you can mess around with this. Check this out. You could play around each channel and change the black and white if you want manually. Or just click convert, which is, I would say, is AI-ish. But, black and white have different tastes, too. A lot of people have different version of black and white they like, Some like it more, whereas some green channel more. But this is how you play with it. Now, the cool thing about this is the saturation. You see how, if I just play with red, look at that.
Ooh, that has a really nice look to itself in its way, right? It's like another look to it. I like it.
See, look at that.
Yeah.
So what it does is turn everything black and white, dim it down, but bring back the red, the amount
that's
of your
what
choice.
it does.
Same thing goes with yellow.
Oh, the red one looks nice. I like the red. For this particular picture, that the red looks good.
So this is how I use it sometimes. If I go to color and I go to saturation, why am I? Oh, there you go. I go saturated, right? Oversaturated. Go to black and white conversions. Go to saturation.
Yep. Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it down.
Yeah.
Yellow.
Yes. So you're really playing on the super saturation. Now you're controlling those levels.
So you are controlling every single color and
Yes.
with black and white. So you could do a lot with this.
Yeah.
You know, it looks different.
Yeah, and again, all
So you
these
can tune them.
tools, normally you would have to pay lots of money for like Photoshop to really take advantage of all this stuff because in Lightroom you can barely touch the surface of all these functionality.
I mean, what I consider is they never really said that, but every single one of tool here is a different version of a color grading tool for you to adjust your pictures. That's how I see it. So you think that black and white conversion was just like strictly black and white conversion? Actually, they gave you more.
Yeah, you got a ton of room to play around with there. There's a lot of different options you can tweak.
Okay, and then detail enhancer, pretty much it's kind of chopped in a way. Let me go in there with probably the rock's good idea. Small details, so they basically break down. You see all the small details, but enhance, right? And then medium details, more.
Ooh, wow.
So it breaks it down and how you want this, because sometimes it's also. This is part. Okay, see, this is different now.
Yeah, this is a global effect. This is not AI.
Yeah, it is. So it is not sharpened. It's basic detail. So when details, even skin texture is details. So you probably don't want to mess with that.
Yes.
See how when you do medium detail, it doesn't affect as much. Again, large details just on the edge and it's not the skin tones. See.
Yes.
So when you play around more and you want full control and knowing how to get more detail showing, this is the way you play.
Yes.
Or you just go ahead and do sharpen.
Yeah. That lets AI kind of figure out how you want to sharpen it. And
yeah, see how sharpen doesn't really match with your skin tones.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. I'm pretty sure
So
it does some kind of like AI and it knows what part is skin.
And then they have more. There's always more.
Yeah, those
detail
advanced
protections.
types, those advanced sliders are sweet.
I'm not gonna go for this is too much. Eventually, we'll make other videos about this maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I love this because you're really showing all these little tools, all these extra features that it's all part of software. But again, you don't need any of this to make your pictures look great. The two features in the very beginning that we showed you, AI Enhance and AI Skin Enhance, AI Enhance and AI Sky Enhancement,
just
the two that you need.
There, you gotta.
That's it. That's it. That's all you need to take your picture like 10 times better, and you're done. You're literally done. But like, of course, as photographers, sometimes you want to spend a little bit of time to tweak it just the way you want. So you can do it. And I love that Jeremy is showing us all this tool because it gives you a good understanding of the flexibility that the software can do. Like one of the features that stuck out to me just when you were showing to me is like the sharpness on the rocks and the details, right? Because I think, okay, I have a nice lens, I take this picture, and then when I look at the picture, it's soft, I think, well, I just need a better lens. Let me go spend $1,000 and get a much better prime lens, stop it down, and get the sharp detail on the rock. Or I can buy this software, link down below, for less than $100, and you can take a picture.
Oh, you mean like this?
Yeah, exactly. Right, you can take a picture from a cell phone, right, and enhance it, and it'll look like $1,000,000. It will look like you took it on a DSLR with a best lens out there. Like these little details here can all be manipulated in software. People don't really realize that because they think, oh, to be a purist photographer, you have to have the best equipment, you have to have really good quality lenses to get great sharp pictures. But here, you're doing it in post, and it looks fantastic. In fact, it looks better because you can control how sharp you want the rocks, right?
Look at how sharp that is compared
It's amazing.
to before.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, and if you guys are curious, down the link below are some cameras. I love the Canon M50. It's like a consumer level camera, but it's so small and compact. And these are the EFM lenses, really lightweight and small. It's got the flip out screen. You can look at it in the back. You can tilt it up to take pictures, and you can flip it around like this to vlog. So this is a really great camera for vlogging, and I just love it. And just kind of the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's a very affordable camera that can let you take amazing picture. Combine this camera with this software, the Luminar 4, and you have a solution for some amazing picture. You can take pictures you can charge thousands of dollars for, and I kid you not, as a wedding photographer shooting for 10 years, like I can produce amazing results with a camera like this, the Canon M50, with some software like this that will rival what I shoot on a professional medium format camera, for example. So manipulation in post-processing goes a long way. You don't need really advanced equipment to get amazing results if you combine some good equipment with some great software like Luminar 4.
Okay, so moving on.
Sorry about that.
Hey, did you put my cameras on there too? My favorite camera.
Yes, down below there are, because I'm a Canon guy, but it's not really about brand. My friend here, Jeremy, he likes to use FujiFilm cameras, right? So down below, guess which two FujiFilm cameras I have?
X-T3 and
the new version
which is
of
out
that?
of X-T4.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
So what's the difference between those two, and which one do you have and why?
So I currently have the X-T3, which is to me it's almost. I got too excited.
It's so great.
X-T3 to me it's almost perfect. It's actually there. The only thing is missing is the IBIS, which is the in-camera stabilization.
In-body stabilization.
In-body, I'm sorry, in-body.
Yeah, IB, right?
There's a different brand called in-camera.
Oh, okay.
And X-T4 added that.
Yes.
And also it enhanced a whole lot on the video capacity in that camera. So and then the screen can actually flip. So it's become the perfect blocking camera as well,
it's
not
like
just
this.
Canon.
Yes. It's the funny thing is, when Fujifilm introduced the X-T4, it's not a replacement for the X-T3. Because like you said, the X-T3 is so good already. Basically what they did is they moved X-T3 down to a slightly lower price point, and then they had the X-T4 come in as a little bit more expensive. We had a camera that has a flip-out screen and in-body camera image stabilization. In addition to that, but if you want it to be on a budget, you can still get the X-T3, which is a perfect camera for mainly for photography needs. If you want to vlog as well, then I definitely recommend the X-T4.
Because the X-T3, the X series, the structure, the X-T1, X2, X-T3, they consider, it's not my word, it's considered a photographer's camera, meaning that you really need to know how to take picture to operate the camera. Unlike the current camera system who has everything perfectly, exposure, even in body stabilization, meaning that you can have handshake, you don't even know how to hold your camera. Those
no technique, right?
No technique at all.
Yeah.
So the XT series is considered like the pro. I want to say pro version. Pro is more like for working photographers.
Yeah.
When I say pro, I mean people who actually enjoy taking pictures. Not letting the camera take a picture, like the person itself who holding the camera taking a picture, not letting the camera holding a picture. So that's how they identify the lines.
Yeah, and I kind of like that because, with cameras being so advanced and so powerful now, you kind of allow it to take over. Yeah, you let it take over the whole point of why you're a photographer, because you want to be able to control all the elements. You want to really dial in to take your image
this is why
into a photo.
I consider both the Fuji camera because it can completely let the camera take over with all the automatic stuff.
Right.
Same and then it also allows you, because all the dials like shutters, apertures, ISO is all outside. You can always change it by manually. Manual focus is always out there just for one click. So it basically gives you the automatic function as well as the manual function. It gives you both. Same thing goes with Luminar 4. It gives you AI, everything. Also, it gives you full control as well.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for in this. Because when I have to work within workflow, of course, if there's AI, there's automatic more exposure, everything, fine. Get the work done.
Yeah.
But if I want to play around and I'm fully in control, I also have the option.
Yes.
I love that concept.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't mean you always use it, but it's there when you need it.
Okay, so the next tool is on here. It's moving on. You know what, Dave? I don't think we can really finish every. I will do as much as I can.
Yeah, we should actually wrap it up in maybe the next 5 or 10 minutes because I think the point here is that it has so many tools that you can explore all of it at your free leisure because there's so much you can do. But again, going back to the very basic, you just need those two sliders, the AI Enhance and the AI Sky Enhancement, and you're good. You've got so much range to work with just those two sliders. Like, really. So if there's anything else important that you want to show, Jeremy?
Maybe let me finish this two function
Sure.
and then I'll show a little thing, and then we could just wrap up.
Yeah.
And then we could do another video maybe later just to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So unfortunately, in this picture, I can't really show you the noise, but it's pretty straightforward. You have digital noise. It helps you remove it, both the luminance of the voice and the color noise. So straightforward, right? So on that. And then there's a landscape enhancer. There's a little, okay, this is the reason I choose this photo. Got a person in there, got skin there, got landscape, got structures, got sky. Okay, so you can showcase
Lots
all this
of
tool.
elements here.
All right?
Yes.
So dehaze, that's what it does. Just like in Photoshop, it basically kind of like getting the contrast of the color.
Yes.
Okay?
Right.
So this is the main, you see how this landscape enhancer dehaze. If you ever play with the Photoshop's dehaze, it's a bit different.
It's probably global. And it affects everything.
They're both global.
They are?
Global.
Okay.
They are. But the differences is the Photoshop dehaze, what it does is basically increase the contrast. Okay? Let's say if we have a picture which is kind of muddy or foggy, okay, it will enhance the detail behind the fog for you. So it shows more. But if you look closely, what this does, you see how it detected it's more like a golden hour time.
Yes.
So when you dehaze, it helps you increase that a whole lot.
Yes.
So regardless of the skin tone, but without looking at the skin tone, you just look at the building, the structure,
yes.
It looks amazing.
Yes.
Because this is built for landscape. It's never meant for skins, okay?
Typically, most people that take landscape usually don't have a person in there. So and if you do, you can always go and edit the mask and kind of master it out.
Always master it out.
Yes.
Exactly. So, and then they also have the golden hour. It's similar, but it works differently. You see how it doesn't change much, but it apply a golden warm tone onto all the subjects and the building, all that.
Yes.
But the contrast doesn't increase that much, only the color. Okay? And then this one is kind of weird. I don't use it much. Folio enhancer. It only do the greens. You see the greens?
Yeah, it might be a defect some people like.
No, that's why this tool is mainly for landscape.
Yeah.
For landscape pictures.
Yeah.
So and then there's the fans you could.
Of course.
Oh, this is what they do. Because at first I noticed that like, who would want green that bright,
You
right?
can change
But then I
the
realized
color.
it changed the color.
Oh, that's pretty cool actually.
So imagine you have a scene with all green, right?
Yeah.
You could change the scenery to more like a fall or winter scene if you want.
Yeah, that is
So
cool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took me a while to realize that because I'm not a landscape photographer myself. Okay, so that last but not least, I think this is something you hate.
I don't like vignetting, but it's there. Vignette, yeah. But it's there when people like it. The reason why I don't like it is because when I shoot with a camera where the sensor's too big and the lens, it kind of creates this effect. I always think, oh, it's a lens defect. But it looks nice if you use it in subtle usage. It does look nice.
So, to the left, it dark in the corner.
Yeah.
To the right, it bright. pretty straightforward. And then you can change the size.
Yeah.
Now, I never knew what the advanced setting has.
Ooh.
So, basically it's more roundish.
You can change the size of the vignette. It's more of a square versus a round. I would say this is starting to get into the tacky realm, right?
Yeah, it is. But almost every software has it. So
yes.
Why not? It's
Why not?
there, doesn't mean you have to use it.
Exactly.
So that's
I
pretty
never
much
use these features.
So this is all the tool we just talked about, which is under Essential.
Right.
By just this one tab.
Yes.
You could do a lot already.
Right.
But let's get in. We don't have much time, but let's get into the creative route just a little bit.
Okay.
To show you a little thing.
All right.
One of the key features they have is the AI skin replacement.
Sky.
Again, sky. Yeah. AI sky replacement.
Yeah.
So let's go in here and let's change something to, let's say, sunset. Boom.
Yes. Then the speed that it does this is amazing because, again, you never had to select what part is sky. You just go to the AI sky replacement and you pick a sky and it does it. That's it. It's done. So simple. Look at that. It just, I like that sky. That sky looks great. Woo! Looks fantastic.
So it just chooses the guy that you like, pretty much. That's as simple as that.
And it looks really good. It looks really good because, again, it relights the subject to make it like blend better. And if you look at the edges, they're very well done too. And there's always tweaks if you want to tweak it, but it does a great job of masking.
Oh yeah, it found majority of the stuff, but like for here, because that was the highlight.
Right.
That was highlight stuff.
And the pillar is a little bit. So you can
always
fix it with a slider, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy.
See that?
Yes.
Done.
Yeah.
Clean. Look how clean that is.
That's great. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And if we do light scene, maybe less, we don't want that much. Double global, it looks perfect, just like that. One click.
It looks really good.
What more can you ask?
Nothing, man. I'm impressed. I like this.
So for this function here, we could talk about that more in depth in our next video, but pretty much it's straightforward, right?
Yes.
One click, flip the sky, change a little bit here and there. But we could talk about all that in the next video. I don't think we have enough time.
Yeah.
But, I just want to showcase last thing is just this is the range features that will save you a lot of time.
Yes.
Okay, so do you have any other questions, David, or anybody out there have any questions?
No, I don't think we have any question right now. I think you did a fantastic job explaining all these features, and especially just going back. Let's reset this picture to default and just show me the 3 sliders that you need to make this a great picture from beginning. So
I could go back here and go reset adjustment.
Right. So this is very beginning. And we're just going to use the 3 AI sliders just to make this picture, to replace the sky, to just auto-enhance it, and to make it look really good. Where are you going, Jeremy? I'm going to unshare you. Let me know when you're ready to share your screen. Jeremy, did I lose you? Oh no, I lost your Skype feed. Jeremy, are you there?
Did I get cut off again?
Yeah, welcome back, Jeremy, from nowhere. Here he is again.
my bad.
No worries. Let me know when you're ready to share your screen. I'll throw your screen on there.
Okay. I am sharing my screen again.
Yep. Let me know.
It's not letting me stop.
Well,
but you know what? We kind of wrap up on
that's fine.
Anyway,
so those are the 3 sliders that really all that matters is. So those 3 sliders. Which one are those, Jeremy? You got.
That will be the AI enhance.
Yes.
I mean accent, AI structures.
Yes.
And then the sky AI's
replacement.
Replacement. Yeah.
Yes.
This 2 basically only pretty well this 3 you basically got amazing picture regardless.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean that's really all I do, and I think it does a fantastic job. And we wanted to show you a more in-depth tutorial to show you really what you can do, but you don't need to know all that because this software is amazing by itself. The price is down below. It's under $100. It works amazing, and it'll take your photography to the next level. I want to wrap it up by showing you one more video from the website because I just love the website. It has so much stuff in here. So, and also this is the product on Amazon. you can see it's got, when you get a chance, check out some of the reviews. There's some good reviews, and people are finding this software very, very useful. I mean, don't take our word for it. There's a lot of people that love the software because it's amazing. But let me wrap up with one video here. I mean, I can just pick any video, and I'm sure you'll be impressed. Oh, this is a quick recap of what we did.
Yeah, I just showed that.
Yeah, pretty much. But here's another picture, right? So, Jeremy, you want to explain this picture?
Sure. So can you help me turn off those AI buttons so you can see the before?
Yes.
So basically, if you take a picture, which is the backlight, right, and you want to retain the sky, and for that one exposure picture, one exposure, this is exactly what you're going to get. You get a darkened foreground and subject in front, but you get a sky.
Yes.
You get a sky detail. So that's what you get.
Yes.
Now, if you turn on the AI accent.
Yes, AI accent applied.
Apply. So it will know how to balance out the exposure and the white balance and all that, so that the subject in the front and the sky will get that perfect, just how our human eyes looking things right now. This is how we look at it, right?
Yes.
If we look at it, not the camera,
yes,
but with human eye, this is how we look at it. This
because
is how
our
that
eyes have a lot of dynamic range. It can see all the colors in the car while seeing the bright sky at the same time. But our cameras typically don't have that broad dynamic range.
I think, no, you can quote me wrong, but I believe human eyes has around 42 f-stop, and we could interchange those f-stop like unlimitedly, unlike a camera.
Oh, yes.
So a camera cannot ever be a human eyes because they only have able to fix one stop per time.
Yes.
But our human eye can change anytime we want with 42 f-stop.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
a camera had 16 f-stop?
Yeah,
22,
16, 22.
max.
Depends on the
22
lens.
max.
Yeah, 22 is what I
So-
remember.
So that's why, like, we see this
Yes.
while the camera can't.
Right.
But the AI will help us. But then the good thing with digital photography,
Yep.
with you shooting raw files, those information were captured within a raw file. We're just not seeing it.
Yes.
But the AI could help us bring it out,
Yes. So then you got another slider down there, Jeremy.
which is the AI enhancer, which if you look at the skies right now, when you turn it on,
Boom. Now that
Bam.
looks amazing.
see, that only applies to the sky, to enhance the sky. It not touch the foreground one bit.
Exactly. And like when I bring a picture into Luminar 4, this is essentially what I do. I hit the AI accent slider, I enable it, and I slide it around a little bit. And I hit the AI sky enhancer, and I slide it around a little bit. And if I want to, I can replace the sky. In this picture, the sky looks great already, so I don't need to replace it. But if I want like a dark, stormy sky, I can replace it. It'll have the dark, stormy cast on the car, and it will have a totally different effect. But those are pretty much all the things I use Luminar for. I don't use a lot of features because you don't need a lot of feature. That's what makes the software so great. It's just so
But it's
user-friendly.
always good to have it in your belt.
Yeah, of course, of
Yeah.
course. It's nice to have, but again, I want people to realize that you don't need to spend a lot of time because this software allows you to do it so quick, right? Just a couple of sliders and you got it. But if you want to, you can dive deep. And the cool thing about diving deep is once you have like this perfect recipe that you want, you can save it as a look, right, Jeremy? Yes.
We could talk about that next time.
We could, yeah. So, and those are amazing features. So, like I promised, I want to show you guys one more video before we wrap up. And I love this website here. Oh, before I do that, Jeremy was talking about the noise feature, and we couldn't really see it. But here's an example of the noise, right? You can see like on the seats here, a lot of noise, and you even see in the window here, a lot of noise. But this software just takes it away and really fine-tunes your image, makes it look like a really, really high-quality image. Like you could be shooting this at like ISO 3200 or ISO 6400, but with this noise filter applied, it looks like ISO 800. It looks very clean. I like it.
I rarely use that feature. I actually add more film gray into my image rather than removing noise.
It depends on the style you're going for. So let's pick one more video because if you guys ever want to check out the software, go to Luminar's website, skylum.com, and check out these 1-minute videos. They're all really good. I'm trying to see which one is my favorite one here to show. If you got one, Jeremy, that you want me to play, let me know too.
I don't know. You pick.
Okay, I will pick.
You in charge.
I want to pick. I do want to pick, but just in case, I don't want to make you feel left out. They're all really good. I think I want to show the one of this Japan shot here because
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
yeah, because it's nice to travel. And I know a lot of my photographer friends, travel vloggers, they love to travel, and sometimes they're taking pictures with something like a Canon M50 or a Canon 6M Mark II, or even a FujiFilm X-T3 or a FujiFilm X-T4, all cameras linked down below. Or even if they travel with just the iPhone or a Samsung Galaxy S10, for example. They can take those pictures and pop them right into Luminar 4 and create amazing effects. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Definitely.
so let me demonstrate what you can do for a travel photographer, or a vlogger. So here, check this out. Using Luminar 4, you got a beautiful picture like that, before and after, totally different. Takes your photography up to a whole nother level. Basically 2 sliders, AI accent and AI structure. It's all you need. You can adjust the sky a little bit. You can actually do a little sky replacement, put a sunset, boom, you're done. Adjust some advanced, flip the sunset on a different side so it's more believable. Change some settings there. Again, everything is slider based, and again, you don't need to mask anything. Yeah. Oh wow, like very small little changes, right? You don't waste the time masking anything. You do spend the time adjusting all these little things here, but the results, it's like wow, right? Just a few sliders, and look at that. Your photo has just elevated to the next level. You took that word right out of my mouth because I took that word right from the video. Very good, Jeremy. Very good. Well, that kind of wraps up our kind of demonstration here. We just wanted to show you guys how powerful Luminar 4 is and how it can transform your photo to the next level with very simple slider control. And for a price that's cheaper than the most inexpensive lens you can buy for your camera. It's under $100. If you buy it from Amazon, you can always have this Amazon customer service. I know if you buy it from Skylim's website directly, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. So however you purchase it, you're gonna be really happy. I think the software is fantastic. I use it all the time in both my amateur stuff as well as my professional wedding photography stuff. And remember, I shoot weddings for over 10 years, and I still use it, and it always impresses my clients because I can post-process my normal picture, and I can throw in a few that I process with Luminar 4, and those actually happens to be some of the favorite ones. So maybe I should do more of that than the other, but nonetheless, I use it professionally, and I can use it amateurly as well. Jeremy, anything you want to add as your last, some of your last words before we wrap up?
So, what is that email that if they have questions that they could ask us again? Yeah,
so they can always email us at savemoney@pixelstabbers.com. We have the coupon code down, well, actually not down below because the coupon code is PixelStabbers. But if you have any problem applying it, let us know. Drop us an email again at savemoney@pixelstabbers.com, and we'll help you out.
Yep.
All right. Anything else? That's it. All right.
That's it.
Well,
until next time.
Yeah, we thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following our journey as we explore and share with you all the great things about Luminar 4. If you have any questions, always stop by our YouTube channel at youtube.com/pixelstabbers. If you're into tech reviews, my channel is Utechpia. Go to youtube.com/Utechpia, and we're always happy to answer your question. And make sure you follow us on YouTube, follow us on Amazon, and check back next time for more great videos on photographies and Luminar 4. All right, guys, thank you again, and have a great evening. We're signing out. Adios. Bye. 3, 2, 1, and we are out.